Hello, Flosstube friends. My name is Aimee. I am the Black Cat Stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is Flosstube number 11. Long time no see, my friends. Anyway, I didn't do a video last week because I had some technical difficulties, so to speak. Are you okay there, friend? Anyway, he's hiding in his house. It's a little dark for you to see. But anyway, I had technical difficulties, and the storage on my phone had been reduced, so it kept cutting me off, and I couldn't get a full video out of the amount of storage I had left on my phone. And I kept deleting things, you know, photos that I'd had on there forever and I didn't really need anymore, but the storage just didn't become available, and it came to the point where I was ready to metaphorically flip a table. And I was frustrated, and I was like, screw this. I'll just post my progress on Instagram, and I'll come back in 4 weeks, which is today. And anyway, welcome to Flosstube number 11. I am going to show you the progress that I had on the things that I worked on 4 weeks ago. Gosh, they're hyper today. They've been playing chase since I've gotten home. So that's going to be fun. Anyways, where was I? I lost my train of thought. I am going to show you all of the things that I've worked on in the past 4 weeks for those of you who do not use Instagram. Because before I found Flosstube, I used to be one of those people who does not do Instagram. So, I understand. So yeah, let's jump right into it. As always, with my videos, we'll start out with my crafty things and move on into the reading on the second half of my videos. So first off, it's the focus piece. So Father, leave the room, please, and I will tell you when you can come back. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, the reason I say that is because this is a gift for my dad, and he has told me that he doesn't want it to be spoiled, so I'm, not going to. Anyway, here is a picture. I'm going to try editing for this video too, so that's going to be fun and hopefully not frustrating. Here's a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's finished, and here is where I'm at. I'm working on Boba Fett. If you saw my mini-sode, you would have seen the completed Darth Maul, who is over here now, covered up by my Q-snap. And as you can see, I've switched methods somewhat. I started doing diagonal cross-country method that I saw Vani from Thread the Needle talk about on her channel. I thought doing it that way would keep me a little bit more organized and lessen the amount of mistakes that I make, in a given time period. And so far, I have been proven correct. So I'm very much enjoying doing cross-country diagonally. And yeah, I can see the little antenna coming out, so hopefully I'll get to see like part of his helmet soon. By the way, this is Boba Fett. I don't think I said that before. But yeah, that is my focus piece, and that is the progress that I have made so far. Next, let's go to the stuff that I did 4 weeks ago when I was struggling with technical difficulties. So this is the first project. This is, I'm calling it Shy Cat. Here's a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And I had been doing this extreme cross country, but I ran out of Anchor Black because this is done entirely in Anchor Floss. And so I started up with a different color, a brown that I did kind of in here and a little bit on the side here. And then, of course, I switched to diagonal cross country on the last few days that I worked on this because I wanted to try it as soon as I saw that video. So I'm still enjoying diagonal cross country. But yeah, that is my progress on Shy Cat. That's not the actual name of this, by the way. It's just a name that I gave it. My own creative title. All right, next. 3 weeks ago, I worked on a new start, which is the orange seasonal tree in this photo. Goodness. So, here is my progress thus far. I again tried diagonal cross country, and this is a circle, so it looks a little weird. But it ended up kind of turning into a follow the swirl until I finished the thread. But yeah, this is my progress on the orange tree. And next, let's see, which one did I do? 2 weeks ago, I spun the Tiny Decisions wheel, and I spun a museum shelf by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And here is what it's supposed to look like. And I hadn't worked, oh yeah. And I also had the forethought for this one to take a before picture so that you would be reminded what it looked like. And here it is, my before picture. And here is the after. I started over, as you can see. And I did diagonal parking with this one. And I made a boo-boo. I'm stitching this in the wrong orientation. So I had planned to say in my video that I was going to post 2 weeks ago, that never happened, that I was giving this project one more chance with the count fabric that it's on. Currently, I'm doing it on 25 count Easy Grid Lugana. And I was having, trouble seeing because my eyesight is very bad. I had bought readers, I had bought a magnifier, and I was gonna try those and see if that helped me enjoy the process just a little bit more. They didn't. I mean, they were all right, but 90% of the time I just didn't put my readers on because it would hurt my eyes after a while. And I mean, I did the magnifying glass and that was fine, but I would rather switch counts. And the fact that I did it in the wrong orientation, it just gave me an additional excuse to start over. So the next time you see this, you will be seeing it on 18 count Easy Grid, and which I've ordered and it's on its way, but it just hasn't arrived yet. It'll be probably arriving early next week. So the next time that I spin the Tiny Wheel of Decisions and it lands on museum shelf, I'm starting over. And for my regular viewers, it would be good for you to continue watching because I'm probably going to end up giving away the 25 count Lugana that I have and am probably never going to use in the future. So I would rather pass it on to somebody who is going to enjoy it and is going to use it. But first, I'm going to try and reuse some of the floss that I have hanging off of it. And I will do that, when I restart it with the 18 count. So keep your ears peeled and your eyes open. So for a future giveaway of some fabric. So, yay. And this week, I have been working on gosh, there's so much thread. Anyway, I've been working on Bubble Cat, which is, again, a title that I have given it myself. And here, I was pointing like this because I'm going to put my picture here. of what it's supposed to look like. And I also had the foresight for this one to take a picture before I started. So here is the before picture. Now, here is where I'm at. And I didn't do very much, to be honest. I filled in a little bit of the bubble, and for some reason I came down here with a color. I don't know what I was doing, but I somewhat fallen out of love with that one a little bit. Don't fight, you guys. You have to be nice on camera. Hey, yous guys. Stop. Hey, Hirsch. Don't make me come over there. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Anyway, cat fight averted. I see you, Hirsch. Don't think about it. Hirsch? Get down. Anyway. No. Hirsch. Do you listen to me, you unruly child? Hold on. Oh gosh, I have too much crap to get up. Hershey, are you leaving? Anyway, I think he's leaving. That was a fun interlude. Anyway, I've kind of fallen out of love with it. Probably mostly because it's a paper project. And the way my stitching week usually goes is my focus project I work with on the weekends. I'm sitting, my comfy chair with a frame or in my bed and stitch, and it's very nice. But during the week, when I do these projects that I have on rotation, I am bringing it to work with me mostly. I go to work, and I usually go to work really early for no particular reason, but I end up sitting at my desk for maybe a half hour before work starts, stitching, and then I also stitch during my lunch break, and then I bring it home and, sit in my chair for maybe a little bit and stitch if I feel like it. So the majority of my work on my projects is done not at my house, so it travels with me. So unfortunately, the paper pattern just doesn't work in that situation. So I end up putting it to the side on my desk while I'm eating my lunch, and I have to bring it over when I'm trying to, double check things, and it's pain in the ass, and I just generally didn't have the motivation to do any stitching. So yeah, that was the situation with that one. So I came up with a plan, and here is my plan. My birthday is in October. I am an October baby, and this is a big birthday for me. I am turning the big 30, and I am leaving my 20s behind. So I wanted to do a birthday start, but I had talked myself out of it because I, believed that I had enough projects in my rotation and that adding more would be overwhelming. So I shelved that idea until now. I'm thinking that I will take Bubble Cat out of my rotation for now and put a new start in there so I can have my birthday start. And I will bring it back once I finish Star Wars, and that way I can work at home. I can clip the paper pattern to my stand, and I can work on it comfortably without, having to move and double check and shuffle things around and make it the experience a little bit more pleasant for me. And besides, I think Bubble Cat is my third oldest whip. My oldest whip is Star Wars, and my second oldest whip is Rainbow City, which I will insert a picture of here. And I'm not ever going to make Rainbow City my focus project because I don't think I can actually focus on it for long enough because I dislike doing it on dark the dark black fabric. And I promised myself that I would do that slow and steady. And if I, had to spend my weekends, usually I get 6-ish hours of stitching on a good weekend when I have nowhere to be. Yes, Hershey. So yeah, I couldn't spend 6 hours doing that one. I would go crazy. So it'll remain in rotation, and my third oldest whip will be up next for my focus project. Anyway, I digress. Now I'm going to actually show you what project that I selected as my birthday start. Ta-da, here's the photo. It is called, I don't know what it's called, I didn't actually write that down. Shoot. Well, as you can see, it's a human anatomy piece. It is by Light Unicorn Designs on Etsy. And I really like that. Fun fact, when I was deciding what I was going to be when I grow up, when I was entering college, my first thing that I wanted to be was a forensic anthropologist, because I really liked the TV show Bones. If you guys like that show too, you're awesome. Anyway, but then reality hit, and I realized that there wasn't actually very many jobs for people, to get in forensic anthropology, and there was a lot of competition for those jobs. So I continued on with my degree in anthropology, but, was kind of exploring different things that I could do with it, and I ended up here in museums, which I thoroughly enjoy. But one of the classes that I took, when I was studying anthropology, was human osteology, which is basically human, bone anatomy and whatnot. And I also took comparative anatomy. That was more for animals, but we also did human anatomy a little bit in that class. So I like human anatomy, and I think this picture is really cool. So, to honor my my profession that I left behind, and to honor my love of the TV show Bones, I've decided to do this one for my birthday. But here's where I start to waffle a little bit. I love this pattern. It's not full coverage, and the majority of the things that I do are full coverage. So I thought this was my opportunity to try some of those awesome hand-dyed fabrics. Picture this plus. That is the brand name that they sell on 123 Stitch. And so I was browsing through some of those, colors to see, what they had. And I can't decide on what to do. So I'm gonna ask you guys for help. My first thought when I saw the pattern is I wanted to do it on more of a gray, neutral gray, silvery gray kind of color. And I found this one. Here's the picture. This is the colorway Helix, and that is the gray option that I liked the best. But I like color, and I was thinking maybe I should do something just a little bit more bold, more colorful. So I was thinking, what color would go best with this when this pattern has most of the colors of the rainbow? And then, I realized that when I purchased the pattern that there was a lot of empty space that the fabric would show through, in the veins of the human. So I was thinking, maybe I should do dark blood red, which I thought was a brilliant idea. But here's where I started to waffle. Dark red is one of the colors in the pattern, I think. And I actually pulled, where did it go? This, I think, 347 is the darkest red. And I was thinking that if I use dark red, then it would cancel out this color, the colors of the red in the pattern. But I still like the idea. So I don't know. I have a couple, of options of red that I also like. That there's 3. See, I'm waffling a whole lot. Anyway, this is called Rubeus. It is a really dark red, which, you know, like I said, I thought would wash out some of the red color in the pattern. And then there's also Phoenix, which is here, which is another really dark red. But I kind of got like another one that's got a little bit more of a pinky reddish light parts to it in the modeling. So here's the third option. It's called Aurora, and I don't know which one to do. There's 4 options. Helix, which is the light gray, dark red, Phoenix, and Rubeus, and then a lighter pinky red, dark red mix called Aurora. What should I do? Which one should I choose? I mean, they're all beautiful and I'll be happy anyway, but is the idea of going with a bold dark red a bad one? Because I've never used anything other than white on my projects. This is my first foray into dyed fabric, and I want to do it right. I know the easiest way to make a decision is to do a floss toss on all of them, but I'm not gonna buy 4 pieces of fabric that I may never use because I don't have that much money to spare. So, I mean, if it's narrowed down to 2 even, that would be great. So anyway, help me decide, everyone, please. I don't know what to do. But anyway, yeah, that's my plans. All right, now on, I will pause plans here. I am going to spin the wheel, but I want to show you my haul first. I've got 2 things, or 1 thing that's Stitchy related that I bought. I bought another floss buddy. I untied the thingy so I could show it to you. This is for Flancy Floss, so it's, you know, got a little bit of a deeper pocket. But I ran out of space in my other one, so I bought a second. But yeah, that is my stitching haul. And now I suppose I will spin the wheel before I... Shoot, it dropped on the floor. Pardon me. Pardon the close-up. Woo, I'm back. I'm really close to the camera. Wow. Okay. All right. We're spinning the wheel. And I will be doing... 1 more video probably before I'll start my birthday start. So, because, I mean, besides, I have to buy fabric, and that doesn't take, you know, that takes a little bit to get here. So, anyway, let's go. This will be my first option. All right, I will be picking back up my bag embroidery. That is my project bags that I'm embroidering. And this one I'm doing a couple of hearts in the colors of the modern progressive pride flag. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I'm going to pick that back up again. Hopefully I'll finish my heart and figure out what words I'm going to put on it and get started on those. So, bueno. What did it do? Shoot. All right, the second one is Watercolor City. Here's what that looks like. And that is what I'm going to be doing the second week before I start my next video. All right. Awesome. Sweet. All right, that is it for plans. And now I'm going into knitting. I realized, you know, that I never actually told you what pattern I'm using. Bibo, are you stuck? No? My cats are being weird today. First they're fighting and now they're getting themselves stuck. All right, anyway, it is the rock and roll blanket designed by Carol from Black Sheep Wools. So yeah, this is kind of what it's gonna look like. There's some pictures on the back along with the logo of the yarn dyer. So yeah, that is the pattern that I'm using. And I've also never actually shown you how long it is, because I was always at a stopping point, you know, where I was mid row of stitches. So I'm gonna lean back and show you how long it is. Here's how long the blanket is. Ba-bum. And I finished the white stripe. And I've started this brown stripe. And also never actually told you the names of the colors. This one is color 803 from Black Sheep Wools, and it's just called black. The gray is number 802, and it's called Smoky Quartz. The white is 801, and it is called Moonstone. And the brown is 804, and it is Boulder Opal. I'm becoming a real floss tuber. I actually say the names of the colors I'm using and everything. Anyways, that was my knitting. And I also have a little bit of knitting haul. The first thing is, this teeny little tin with, you know, some little daisies on the top, on the front. And inside the tin are some stitch markers. So I'll actually take one out and pop it on so we can be able to see my progress from here on out. So let me pop this baby on. Boop boop. Oh gosh, these things are tiny. Alrighty, there's my stitch marker, and I'm ready to keep going. Although I found that, you know, I only knit if I'm really tired of cross stitching on the weekends. So that's a thing, but you know what? That's okay. I'll slowly but surely make progress on this blanket, and you know, I'm aware it's going to take me a long time, and that's okay. And my second knitting haul thing is this little drawstring bag. I realize that once I get a lot further on this blanket, it's going to be huge, and I'm going to want a place to stuff my progress into while I'm knitting, so it's not flapping all over the place. And if I ever bring this, you know, say on the plane with me or somewhere, I can stuff it in here and just keep knitting in the airport, and maybe I'll put some other things like my electronics in here so that I can use this as my carry-on. But anyway, that is my knitting haul. And I think that's done with the crafty bits. So I guess now we go on to reading, which honestly, my reading is kind of short because I don't remember all of the titles of the things that I've been reading recently. I can tell you that my mom and I finished the Kate Burkholder series by Linda Costello that we were reading. So that's pretty much the majority of the reading that I've done. We read like 5 of them, and that finished out the series, at least for now. She's still writing, and she'll probably release another one at some point, because it's not over yet, the series. It is. And now we're currently reading some short stories about Kate Burkholder that she wrote and compiled into a book that she recently released. I forgot the name of that one as well. So yeah, the reading one is super articulate, but you know, that's okay. Sometimes I'm not super articulate anyway, so anyway, sorry if that disappoints you, but I do highly recommend the Kate Burkholder series. It's very entertaining. I would say there's maybe like one book that I didn't like as much. It's because I remember basically the gist of it was that she was going undercover in a different Amish community in the state of New York, and she made, in the course of her undercover investigation, a whole lot of stupid decisions. And I was like, come on, no, don't do that. So yeah, that was my only book that bothered me slightly, only because she wasn't as smart and badass of a female cop lady that she had been in, you know, the other books that I read. But anyway, I highly recommend the series. It's very interesting, and it kind of takes a step into maybe a culture or a community that, you know, not a lot of people have exposure to, and it's fun to learn about. Which is the Amish, by the way. Yeah, I had a few people who were Amish near where I grew up, but it was only like one or two. My grandparents would go get, you know, eggs or eggs from them or something like that. But yeah, anyway, it was fun reading those books, and yeah, we'll see. I have book clubs starting back up again. They usually take a break during the summer because, you know, kids are home and they are going on vacations and doing outdoor activities, etc., etc. So because a lot of the people in my group are, you know, mothers and much older than me, but that's okay. Anyways, yeah. That is actually the end, and I can stop rambling now. Please leave in the comments what you think I should do with my fabric choice for my birthday start. I will let you know in my next video which fabric I choose, and I will plan my birthday start for the first week of October, probably. So that'll be fun, yay! Anyways, have a nice rest of your weekend, everyone, and I will see you next time.